Tonight on Nebraska Nightly.
A Lincoln man charged with first-degree murder.
An inmate is missing.
And perfect ball game weather is coming our way. This is Nebraska Nightly.
Live from the Don and Lorena Meyer studio at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln College of Journalism and Mass Communications, this is Nebraska Nightly.
Welcome to Nebraska Nightly. I'm Elena Tomish.
And I'm Madeline Fox. Our top story today. The Lincoln man accused of shooting and killing someone in a downtown apartment on Tuesday is now charged with first-degree murder. 53-year-old Jacob Malloy is also charged with use of a firearm to commit a felony. Police say he admits killing 52-year-old John Armstrong. Malloy called 911 to report he shot a man in his apartment. He performed CPR until first responders arrived, police said. Court documents report the men had known each other for several years, and Malloy recently confronted Armstrong about being inside his home without permission. LPD says Armstrong was allowed in his home that day, but the two got into a fight, and Malloy says he was pushed and responded with gunfire. Malloy must pay a bond of $100,000 to be released.
And a Lincoln man facing a first-degree arson charge after he allegedly lit his mattress on fire. Lincoln Fire and Rescue were called to an apartment off of South 10th Street on Monday morning around 8:30. The 54-year-old man who lived at the apartment told investigators he started the fire by soaking his mattress with gasoline before lighting a piece of paper on fire and throwing it on the mattress. He told police he'd recently had his hours in pay nearly cut in half, and it had caused him to fall behind on bills. Police said he'd gotten the eviction notice on Friday and he bought some gas on Sunday night. He was arrested on Wednesday night and he is now facing a first-degree arson charge. Lincoln police officers responded to the same apartment complex on Thursday for a mental health check on the 54-year-old man. Court records show he told police he thought nobody was in the complex at the time.
An inmate is missing from a Lincoln prison after being released for work. 23-year-old Alex Reynoso Vargas left state custody in Lincoln last Friday. Reynoso Vargas had a job orientation scheduled. Inmates housed at the low-security prison are allowed to participate in work opportunities without supervision. He's now considered an escapee. He ditched his electronic monitoring device near 22nd and D Streets Thursday. He had been in prison since June of 2023. He was sentenced to up to 3 years for terroristic threats and third-degree domestic assault convictions. Reynoso Vargas is a 5'4" Hispanic male. He has black hair, brown eyes, and weighs about 160 pounds. He was set to be released in August. Department officials asked anyone with knowledge of his whereabouts to contact local authorities or the Nebraska State Patrol.
And Lincoln police and family members continue their search for a 28-year-old man who disappeared from a mental health facility. Joshua Martin was last seen on Friday, April 5th when he was walking away from a secure mental health facility near 14th and South Streets. Lincoln police said they've checked surrounding businesses for security video and used a drone in the search but have had no luck locating him. LPD will be out Friday utilizing the Nebraska State Patrol helicopter to check on some areas. Carrie Tronson, Martin's aunt, says the family will be organizing a search party this Sunday. The family is unsure where he is but believes he might be somewhere between Lincoln and Omaha.
We don't know if he's in hiding because he's scared, or we don't know if he's in hiding because he doesn't want to go back to the group home and he wants to be home. So we don't know. My sister thinks that he's hiding because he doesn't want to go back to the group home and he just wants to be at home and he's trying to find his way back to his house.
The search party will be located at 8700 Andermatt Drive on Sunday beginning at 11 a.m. until 2 p.m. If you have any more information, LPD asks individuals to call dispatch at 402-441-6000.
The University of Nebraska-Lincoln's chapter of the American Association of University Professors is hosting a banned book raffle next week. Students will have the opportunity to receive a free book that has been threatened by censorship. Some of these books include themes of race, the LGBTQIA+ community, death, and grief.
Books also help us learn about people and ideas that we might not otherwise encounter, and they help us develop empathy and understanding. And when we're in a period of our country's history where there is such vast polarization, I think anything we can do to develop empathy and understanding is really important.
The AAUP is an organization of faculty and staff that raises awareness on threats to the freedom to learn. The book banning raffle is free to UNL students. The event will be from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. outside of the City Campus Union on April 17th.
Lincoln police are warning students to not participate in a new social media trend. Nebraska Nightly's Teddy Ball shows the dangers of what students think is a harmless game.
Senior Assassins is a game that started nationally and now found its way to Lincoln. High school seniors are hunting down their classmates in public areas, shooting them with water guns. The problem with this game is that some of the guns being used look realistic.
That report is coming in as a person with a gun. So it's not until officers arrive that they are able to determine that it is a handgun or a splatter gun or a BB gun.
The game poses a threat to both police and students across Lincoln. Lincoln Public Schools are doing their best to help combat this issue.
Right. We want to approach it first, as with everything in education, as a place of learning. And so when we've had an opportunity to talk to students about what the unforeseen repercussions can be of playing this game, many of them have been compliant, forgiven or asked for forgiveness or said they're sorry for the situation that was going on. That being said, we also know that the games have continued in other locations.
Both LPS and the police department's goal is to have high school students aware of the dangers of participating in this social media trend.
Now, Elena, they say April showers bring May flowers, and meteorologist Dominic Ferrero has more. Dominic?
That's absolutely the case. Well, taking a look here at the next 2 weeks across the country, looking at above average temperatures across most of the western parts of the country. Utah looking real warm the next 2 weeks. As we work our way into the Nebraska area, warmer out west as we work our way across, closer to above average temperatures for this time of year in the next 14 days. And looking across the Ohio Valley and the Great Lakes, below temperatures for this time of year. It's a little cooler. And then looking ahead to the precipitation outlook, we're going to see a lot wetter conditions across the southwest, western parts of Texas, New Mexico there. Could see an increase in precipitation. Nebraska here, partly above average, and then over in the northeastern parts of the country, just about average. So we could still see probably a good 1 or 2 more rain events before things really start to kick off for summer here, and below average across most of the Ohio Valley and parts of the Northeast. So we're going to see what that looks like here for the Lincoln area across the next week after the break. Back to you.
Thanks, Dominic. When we return after the break.
A Heisman Trophy winner known for his time spent in courtrooms in prisons has died.
President Biden continues to push for help with student loans.
And major companies across the nation are looking at shortening the work week. Stick with us.
Need for blood never stops. And at the Nebraska Community Blood Bank, your blood could help save lives. Right now, only 7% of the population donates blood. But imagine if there were more.
We're sitting at below a 7-day level of supply of all blood types across the board. So every blood type is important, and we need all donors of all types to come in and donate right now.
At the Nebraska Community Blood Bank, they believe that all types make a strong blood supply.
It seems like summer is just around the corner, and meteorologist Dominic Ferraro has more details on how we might see just a glimpse of what that nice weather is looking like this weekend. Dominic?
Thank you. Absolutely gorgeous day here in the capital city. Currently right now, mostly sunny skies, 70 degrees for your temperature here. And a rare thing for this time of year, no wind. However, that's not going to last too much longer. Looking ahead into tonight, clear skies will prevail this evening, 45 degrees for your high temperature. We'll start to see low temperature, We'll start to see winds out of the southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour and seeing gusts up to 15. Saturday, however, 84 degrees, mostly sunny skies. We haven't seen 80 degrees here in Lincoln since February 26th. Winds will be out of the south at 10 to 15 miles per hour and gusting up to 20. So what's bringing us that kind of warmer weather? We see a warm front kind of work its way across the central part of the country here, bringing us some of that warmer air from the Gulf of Mexico, which is going to keep us nice and warm, and a nice strong ridge setting itself up across the northern part of the country, and that'll bring us that nice weather the next couple days. We can already see that here on satellite as clear skies across most of the central part of the country. We can kind of see where some of those winds we were seeing yesterday here across the across Illinois into the Ohio Valley and Great Lakes area. And looking ahead at your statewide temperatures, just a gorgeous day across the state. 69 out in Chadron, 73 in Scotts Bluff, 67 in Valentine, and looking to the eastern parts of the state, 67 in Norfolk and 65 in Lincoln. The rest of your week here for the capital city, and we'll see mostly sunny skies here, sunny on to Sunday, fitting for the name, 87 degrees for your high temperature there. And starting your work week out on Monday, 88 degrees, and we'll start to see some PM thunderstorm chances as we move into Tuesday, 74 degrees for your high and rain showers. Looking ahead into the back half of your week, that wind returns on Wednesday, sunny with 75 degrees for your high, some PM thunderstorm chances, and into the early morning on Thursday, 67, and then we see sunny skies, 63, for your high on Thursday, and we'll close out the week on Friday, 51 degrees and partly cloudy skies. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Dominic. President Joe Biden is racing to enact a new student loan forgiveness plan ahead of the election this November. The president announced his new plan Monday, speaking from the battleground state of Wisconsin. Julia Benbrook reports on the president's latest attempt to provide student loan relief.
I'm proud to announce 5 major actions to continue to relieve student debt for more than 30 million Americans.
A new push from President Joe Biden to fulfill one of his 2020 campaign promises. The president traveled to Wisconsin on Monday, a key swing state, to unveil the details of his new student loan forgiveness plan.
Too many Americans, especially young people, are saddled with unsustainable debts in exchange for a college degree. It's not just a drag on them, it's a drag on our local economies.
The new plan will impact people who have balances bigger than what they originally borrowed due to interest, and those who qualify for forgiveness under existing programs but have not applied. It will also assist those who began repaying their debts at least 20 years ago, those who enrolled in so-called low financial value programs, and those experiencing financial hardship.
Over the coming months, the Department of Education will propose and then implement these plans.
This is Biden's second attempt to implement broad student loan forgiveness. The Supreme Court struck his first plan last summer. Several conservative-led states and groups sued his administration over the first program, arguing the executive branch had overstepped its authority.
The Supreme Court blocked us, but that didn't stop us.
The Biden administration has already canceled student loan debt for about 4 million people, mostly using existing programs. That's more than any other president.
The new proposals must still go through a public comment period. Then after reviewing those comments, the Department of Education will publish the final version of the rule. It's a process that could take months and will likely face new legal challenges. Reporting in Washington, I'm Julia Benbrook.
O.J. Simpson died on Wednesday at the age of 76. His family announced his passing on social media. They said he'd lost his battle with prostate cancer surrounded by his children and grandkids. The former NFL star and broadcaster's athletic achievements brought him fame, but they were eclipsed by his 1995 trial when he was found not guilty in the brutal killings of his ex-wife Nicole Brown Simpson and her friend Ron Goldman.
For the first time in decades, the Biden administration is boosting the cost of drilling for oil on federal lands. The new rule from the Bureau of Land Management requires firms to pay $150,000 per lease. That's up from just $10,000 in the past. This marks the first major update to the federal oil and gas leasing program since 1960. Fossil fuel companies also have to hand over more in royalties for the oil and gas they get from federal property. Supporters of this move say this will improve the compensation taxpayers receive in return, and it should also prevent taxpayers from having to cover the cost of cleaning up afterwards. A number of fossil fuel industry organizations, including the American Petroleum Institute, oppose this rate increase. They believe this could have a significant impact on smaller drilling companies, as well as the U.S. economy and its energy security.
Well, nearly a third of large U.S. companies are considering a shortened work week to help combat burnout. That's according to a newly released KPMG survey of CEOs. The schedules being considered are 4 or 4.5 day work weeks. The findings show how executives have been searching for ways to attract and retain talent in a competitive job market, one that has many employees feeling overworked and underpaid. KPMG warns, however, the idea is still in the experimentation phase. The plan seems to be working across the pond in the UK. A large majority of companies that have tried the 4-day work week have stuck with it. More than half have made the change permanently.
The number of middle-aged women seen at a hospital for alcohol abuse nearly doubled during the pandemic. That's according to a study published Friday in the journal JAMA Health Forum. Researchers looked at claims from an insurance database for women who went to the ER or were hospitalized due to alcohol abuse. The data showed that visits nearly doubled for women between the ages of 40 and 65 during the pandemic. Among the diagnoses were complications from alcohol-related liver disease like cirrhosis and the DTs or withdrawal symptoms. Experts say the isolation caused by COVID-19 likely served as a tipping point for some people. The authors say that kept many from attending AA support groups or going into treatment.
Well, more to come after the break.
An update on one Nebraska volleyball star.
The Huskers offensive line sees super seniors fall in.
And the Kansas City Royals stay red hot. Stick with us.
Okay, so how about this much?
I don't know.
Well, how about this much?
I don't know.
How about...
Actually, I don't know.
Okay, maybe this much?
I don't know.
The very tip of your pencil, a fraction of a raindrop, 3 grains of salt. That's how much it takes for a dose of fentanyl to become lethal. Learn more at realdealonfentanyl.com.
3, 2, 1.
This is Nebraska Nightly.
If you're a student at UNL and have ever been interested in reporting or video production, Nebraska Nightly is your place.
Big boss!
Here you can build creative skills, no matter how much experience you have.
Our equipment is very, very high level here, and it's something that a lot of times a lot of people wouldn't get to access until they're kind of in a professional workspace.
Talk to a UNL advisor about joining Nebraska Nightly.
Welcome back. Baseball is finally in full swing, and Sports Director Trey Marler has more news from Haymarket Park. Trey?
Nebraska baseball and softball continue to make headlines, but this time not for on-field performance. Alcohol could soon be coming to Haymarket Park this spring. Next Friday, the Board of Regents plans to vote on the future of alcohol sales at Nebraska softball and baseball games. If passed, it will be effective immediately. In a comment, Athletic Director Troy Dannon said, quote, "This is a win for our fans, Husker Athletics, and the University of Nebraska. Not only does this added fan amenity bring Nebraska in line with national trends, but it gives us an opportunity to make much-needed investments that will make our facilities more competitive," end quote. The Huskers are back in action tonight at Rutgers. First pitch is set for 5 Central on Big Ten Plus. To some Major League Baseball, it's the Royals hosting the Astros. First inning, and it's all Royals early. Nick Lofton goes up the middle for the single. That plates 2 as KC goes up 5-0. Later in the inning, Maikel Garcia takes the 0-2 right back where it came from. The Royals would have played 9 runs in the first inning. Royals pouring it on late. Bobby Witt Jr. with the 3-run blast to right center in the 7th as the Royals cruise 13-3. That is now 7 wins in a row, the longest win streak in the MLB. Nebraska volleyball star Harper Murray is back at practice, says assistant coach Kelly Hunter. The news comes just a week after Murray was cited with a DUI. Murray appeared in 35 games last season and was named Big Ten Freshman of the Year while helping lead the Huskers to a national runner-up finish. There is no update on any further disciplinary actions at this time. Coach Hunter said in an interview with 1011 News, quote, "She is a young adult and child who needs help, and we are here to support her," end quote. In football news, the Nebraska offensive line comes into the spring as one of the most veteran position groups on the field. The veterans Ben Scott and Bryce Benhart both returned for their 6th season in the offseason, and Coach Donovan Raiola is looking to lean on that veteran leadership this season.
Learn how to play football by playing football. So getting live reps against defensive guys. And the thing about playing offensive line is like the one, like, you know, other positions, but it's the position you got to figure it out sometimes, right? And figure it out together.
We were building so much last season, and now, like, we just have to build on it even more. It's like with all those guys coming back, I think we have a lot to work with, and I think the sky's the limit for us.
I gotta bring us back to Haymarket Park. You know, they started selling alcohol at PBA not that long ago. Now there's Haymarket Park. Are we one step closer to having alcohol at Memorial Stadium?
You know, I don't run the university. I'm not on the Board of Regents, so I cannot answer that question at this time. I think it would be cool. Could be a fun set. It's the final piece in the puzzle. But like I said, let's just take our wins where we can get them, and this is a really big step, especially where they had it in the summer with the Salt Dogs, but not during the fall, the spring with the baseball. But now we'll see that, and it should be really fun. Hopefully effective by next Friday.
Wow, that's a quick turnaround. Well, thank you so much, Trey. Coming up on Nebraska Nightly, pickleball is coming to UNL.
A new musical at the Lead Center.
And a fun outside activity for the weekend. Hey.
Of the 40 million tons of plastic waste generated in the U.S. in 2021, only 5%, or 2 million tons, was recycled. Make sure you do your part in keeping Anderson Hall clean. For more information on recycling statistics, visit epa.gov today.
Welcome back. Well, there's always something going on this time of year in the Star City, and Priscilla Castaneda is here with all the details. Priscilla?
Don't be in a pickle because tonight is the pickleball singles tournament. The free event starts at 5:30 with the women's, men's, and open leagues. The tournament is at East Campus Recreation Center. Winners will receive an A Sports Championship t-shirt. The Mean Girls musical is at the Lead Center tonight at 7:30. Make sure you come with your friends that want to sit with you. Get your tickets now at www.leadcenter.org/event/mean-girls. Calling all UNL students, tomorrow there's a Husker soccer game against Kansas. Game kickoff starts at 2:05 and it is a free event for all UNL students. Claim your ticket on go.unl.edu/little-soccer-ticks. That's all for entertainment. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Priscilla. Well, if you can't figure out what you're going to eat for dinner tonight, the answer should be a lot more easier than you think.
It's National Grilled Cheese Sandwich Day. Nobody knows exactly when this comfort food was invented, but cooked bread and cheese has been around since ancient times.
The version you know and love came about in the 1920s when sliced bread and cheese became readily available. Back then, it was usually served as an open-faced sandwich.
But there's no wrong way to make grilled cheese, and that's part of why they've stayed so popular. Use any cheese you like and try adding vegetables, oils, and seasonings to create your own perfect meal. You can also take it with you on your travels. The humble and easy to make grilled cheese sandwich is eaten in many countries.
I'm a little freaked out because I did have one for lunch today and I had no idea that it was National Grilled Cheese Day. But it's my favorite food, what can I say?
Well, apparently I need to go have one for dinner.
What's your favorite way to make a grilled cheese?
Just the regular way. I like Gouda.
There you go. Awesome. Well, let's take one last look at the weather for the weekend. Dominic?
Thank you, Elena. Absolutely gorgeous weekend coming up here. Mostly sunny skies, 84 degrees for your high temperature on Saturday, moving into Sunday. Sunday, sunny weather, 87 degrees for your high there. And then starting out your work week on Monday, 88 degrees. And then warm weather comes to an end there. Monday night, we start to talk thunderstorms. briefly. We'll see. It's starting to look a little south of us, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see a stray shower or two Sunday night into rain Tuesday morning.
Well, it wouldn't be April without a little rain, right?
True, and I feel like we're always saying we need the rain.
But it seems like the perfect weekend to go to Haymarket Park, yeah?
Well, they're on the road. So if you go to Haymarket Park,
can
there
just hang
is
out
no
there.
game. But
Well,
you could like go check it out. I'm sure it looks great. Tomorrow's going to be beautiful. There's nothing going on there. But if you want to go look at it, more power to you.
scheduled something there because it's so nice this weekend. Oh my goodness.
Nebraska Nightly is a production of the University of Nebraska's College of Journalism and Mass Communications.
Thank you for tuning in. We will see you next week on Nebraska Nightly.